Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If your houseplants are thriving and you're thinking, man, I wish I had more of these, without spending a dime, we're in the right place. Today, I'm showing you 17 houseplants that are crazy easy to propagate. Like, we're talking water in a jar, easy, no green thumb required. Whether you're looking to gift a plant, fill out that empty corner, or just flex your plant parent skills, this is the good stuff. And trust me, some of these will double up in just a few weeks. Stick around to the end, because I'm saving the fastest growing one for last. Let's get into it. Alright, plant number 1, Golden Pothos, also known as Devil's Ivy. This one's a total classic, and honestly, it's probably the easiest plant on the list to propagate. All you gotta do is find a healthy vine, snip it just below a node, that little bump where the leaf meets the stem, and boom, you're halfway there. Drop that cutting into a jar of water, make sure the node's submerged, and set it near a window with some bright, indirect light. After about a week or two, you'll start to see little roots sprouting out like magic. Once those roots are a couple inches long, you can pot it up, and you've got a whole new plant. I've got jars of Pothos cuttings all over the place, kitchen, bathroom, you name it. Super low effort, super rewarding. Next up is plant number 2, Silver Satin Pothos, also called Scindapsus pictus if you want to get fancy. This one's got those gorgeous silvery spots on dark green leaves, and yep, it's just as easy to propagate as its golden cousin. Just snip a vine right below a node, same deal, make sure there's at least 1 or 2 leaves on your cutting. Pop it in a glass of water and keep the node submerged. Give it some indirect light and a little patience, and within a couple weeks, roots will start doing their thing. Once they're a couple inches long, you can move it into soil and let it settle in. I've even stuck cuttings straight into damp soil before, and they've taken off no problem. It's low-key, beautiful, and crazy simple to multiply what's not to love. Alright, plant number 3, African Violet. These little guys are a fan favorite for their colorful blooms, and believe it or not, they're super easy to propagate from a single leaf. Just gently twist off a healthy leaf from the base, making sure you get a bit of the stem attached. Then take that leaf and stick the stem into some moist potting mix. Angled slightly helps. Keep the soil damp, not soaked, and cover the pot with a plastic bag or dome to hold in humidity. After a few weeks, you'll start to see tiny new leaves popping up at the base. That's your new plant coming to life. Once it's big enough, you can separate it from the original leaf and pot it up. It's kind of wild how one little leaf turns into a whole new plant, but it works like a charm. Coming in at number 4, Echeveria, one of the most popular succulents out there. And yeah, it's crazy easy to propagate. All you need is a healthy leaf. Just twist it off clean from the stem, no tearing, make sure you get the whole thing. Let that leaf sit out for a day or two so the end callus is over. Trust me, that part's important. Then, just lay it on top of some dry cactus soil. Don't even bury it. Mist it lightly every few days, and after a couple weeks, you'll start seeing little pink roots and even baby rosettes forming at the base. Once they get a bit bigger, you can pot them up and start the process all over again. It's kind of like plant cloning, but way easier, and you don't need a lab coat. Alright, number 5 is the wax plant, also known as Hoyand. Let me tell you, these things are tough, beautiful, and super easy to propagate. Just snip a healthy vine with at least 2 or 3 leaves, and make sure there's a node in there. That's where the magic happens. You can either stick it in water or go straight into a moist, well-draining soil mix. If you're using soil, keep it warm and humid. Maybe even toss a clear plastic bag over the pot to create a little greenhouse effect. In a couple weeks, roots will start forming, and from there, it's smooth sailing. Hoyas are slow growers, but once they take off, they really take off. Plus, those waxy leaves and star-shaped flowers, total showstoppers. And now, you've got more of them for free. Plant number 6, Heartleaf Philodendron, one of the easiest and most forgiving houseplants out there. And yeah, it's a breeze to propagate. Just snip a vine right below a node and try to grab a cutting with 2 or 3 leaves on it. Those nodes are the key roots will grow right out of them. Drop the cutting in a glass of water and make sure that node is submerged. Place it somewhere with bright, indirect light and change the water every few days to keep it fresh. After a week or two, you'll see roots starting to form. Nothing fancy needed. Once those roots are a couple inches long, you can pot it into soil and watch it take off. This plant grows fast and looks amazing in a hanging basket or trailing off a shelf. Plus, if you forget to water it for a few days, it doesn't even care. This one's perfect for beginners and pros alike. Okay, number 7, Epidendrum Orchid. And yeah, I know orchids sound high maintenance, but this one's actually super chill and really easy to propagate. The trick here is looking for little baby plantlets, called keikis, that grow right off the flower spike. Once the keiki has a couple roots that are at least a few inches long, you can gently twist or snip it off from the main stem. Let those roots air out for a day, then pot it in a loose, well-draining orchid mix-nothing 2-packed. Keep it lightly watered and in a warm, bright spot, and it'll start growing like it's got something to prove. It might take a little longer to bloom, but once it does, those flowers are totally worth the wait. Honestly, it's like a free bonus plant just hanging off the original one. All right, plant number 8, Arrowhead Vine, also called Syngonium, and this one's super easy to multiply. Just look for a healthy vine, snip it right below a node, and make sure there's at least 1 or 2 leaves on the cutting. Drop that cutting into a jar of water with the node fully submerged, and set it somewhere with good light but no harsh sun. In about a week or 2, you'll start to see roots coming in, and once they're a couple inches long, you can go ahead and pot it up. This plant grows fast, fills out nicely, and even changes leaf shapes as it matures, which is pretty cool. I've got a few going in water all the time because honestly, once you do it once, it kind of becomes a habit. Easy, fun, and looks awesome. What more do you need? Coming in at number 9, Spider Plant. And man, this one practically propagates itself. You'll notice these little baby plants, or pups, growing right off the ends of those long arching stems. Once the pups get a few roots showing, you can just snip them off and either drop them in water or stick them directly into soil. If you keep the soil moist for the first week or 2, they'll root up fast and start growing like crazy. Sometimes I don't even bother cutting them. I just pin the pup into a new pot of soil while it's still attached to the mother plant, and it roots without even flinching. These things are like the gift that keeps on giving, and they're perfect if you're looking to green up every room in your house without spending a dime. All right, number 10, Rex Begonia. And yeah, this one looks fancy with those wild, colorful leaves, but it's actually pretty simple to propagate. You can take a single, healthy leaf and slice it into sections, making sure each piece has a vein running through it. Press those pieces gently into moist soil or lay the whole leaf flat and pin it down with a couple small cuts along the veins. Keep the soil damp and cover the tray with plastic to hold in humidity. In a couple weeks, you'll start to see little plantlets popping up right from the cuts, or edges super cool to watch. Once they get a few leaves of their own, you can separate and pot them up. It might sound a little arts and crafty, but trust me, it works like a charm and feels kind of magical when those baby plants show up. Plant number 11, Holiday Cactus. Whether it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, or Easter cactus, they all propagate the same way, and it's ridiculously easy. Just twist off a segment with about 3 or 4 jointed pads. It should come off clean with a gentle tug. Let that piece sit out for a day or 2 so the end can callus over, which helps prevent rot. After that, stick it upright into some moist, well-draining soil just deep enough so it stands on its own. Keep it in bright, indirect light and water lightly until you see new growth. Once it settles in, it'll start branching out just like the parent. I've made a whole row of these just from clippings, and they're awesome because they bloom year after year with almost zero effort. Great gift plants too. People love getting a little piece of something that actually flowers. Coming in at number 12, Coleus. And if you love bold colors and funky leaf patterns, this one's for you. Propagating Coleus is as easy as it gets. Just snip a stem right below a node, preferably one that's not flowering, and remove the bottom leaves. Drop it in a glass of water, make sure that node is submerged, and set it somewhere with bright, indirect light. You'll usually see roots starting within a few days. Seriously, it's that fast. Once they're about an inch or 2 long, pot it up in some fresh soil and give it a good drink. This plant loves to grow, and pinching back the tops keeps it bushy and full. You can have a whole window full of these guys in no time, and the best part, they look like you spent way more effort than you actually did. Number 13, Jade Tree. also called the money plant. And yeah, this one's a classic. Super easy to propagate. All you gotta do is snap off a healthy leaf or a small stem cutting, either works. Let it sit out for a couple of days so the end can callus over, which is key for succulents. Then just stick it into some dry, well-draining soil. Don't water it right away. Give it a week or so. After that, water lightly and place it in a bright spot, but no direct sun at first. Within a few weeks, roots will start forming and you'll see new growth pop up. It's slow at first, but once it takes, jade's pretty much indestructible. Plus, it lives forever, and you can keep passing it on. Feels kind of like you're growing a little legacy. All right, plant number 14, Mother of Thousands, and the name says it all. This plant basically does all the work for you. You'll see these tiny baby plantlets growing along the edges of its leaves, and they just drop off and root themselves wherever they land. If you want to help them along, just gently collect a few of those plantlets and place them on top of some moist, well-draining soil. Give them a light mist. Keep the soil slightly damp, and boom, they'll root in no time. These little guys grow fast, like really fast, so make sure you've got room or you'll end up with a jungle. It's one of those plants that almost feels like cheating, because it's just that easy to multiply. Plus, it looks super unique. So people always ask what it is. Number 15 is the Wandering Dudea. Some folks call it Wandering Jew or Tradescantia, but whatever name you use, this plant is ridiculously easy to propagate. Just snip a piece of the stem right below a node, pull off the lower leaves, and drop it in a glass of water. It'll start rooting in just a few days, seriously. It's one of the fastest ones out there. Once those roots hit about an inch long, plant it in soil and watch it take off. This one loves bright, indirect light and grows like crazy, so you'll be trimming and replanting in no time. You can even stick the cutting straight into soil, and it'll still root, no problem. It's perfect if you want a full, trailing basket without spending a dime. Just keep snipping and sticking. Plant number 16, Snake Plant, or as some call it, Mother-in-Law's Tongue. This one's a no-brainer to propagate. Just cut a healthy leaf, about 4 to 6 inches long. Make sure to cut it straight across. Let the cut end dry out for a day or so. This helps prevent rot. After that, you can stick it straight into some well-draining soil, or you can even drop it in water, whichever you prefer. If you're using water, make sure the leaf is only submerged a bit, not the whole thing. In about a month, you'll start seeing roots. Once that happens, you're good to go. Just make sure it's in a warm spot with bright, indirect light. Snake plants are tough, so even if you forget about them for a bit, they'll be fine. It's an easy way to get a bunch of these plants without much effort. Last but definitely not least, plant number 17, String of Hearts. And this one's a beauty. Propagating it is super easy. Just snip a healthy section of stem with a few nodes and leaves on it. Lay that cutting on some moist soil, making sure the nodes are touching the surface. If you're feeling fancy, you can even put it in water and watch those roots form. Either way, it'll start rooting in no time. Keep it somewhere warm with bright, indirect light and a little bit of patience, and soon you'll have a full, trailing vine ready to go. String of Hearts grows quickly, and it's perfect for hanging baskets or as a tabletop plant. Plus, it's just one of those plants that looks impressive even when it's super easy to care for, so you can show it off without the stress. And that's it, folks. 17 houseplants that are crazy easy to propagatino, green thumb required. If you found some new plants to try out, give them a go and let me know how it works for you in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a plant tip. Thanks for watching, and happy planting.